Hello, everybody. My name is Kyle Sosala. I'm the athletic director here at St. Vincent St. Mary High School. This is going on my second year here, actually going on my second year here as the athletic director at STVM. Last August is when I was here. So again, almost a full year going into my second year. But I wanted to sit down and talk a little bit about the fall sports. Just a bunch of information heading into the fall season. Normally, I would like to do an in-person meeting with with all you put together in the gym or auditorium, whatever you want to call it. But I believe this may be an easier option that you can access through your Final Forms account, as well as we'll be sending this information out via email too as well, that you can watch at your leisure and at your convenience. Again, making it a lot easier for everybody to gather and get this information versus an in-person meeting. So again, just wanted to talk a little bit about the fall season and what to expect, some important information that you'll need to know. But for most of you fall parents and players, this is kind of maybe reiterating some of the items that you already know. And again, for most of you playing a fall sport, especially the ones, the parents and the families that have been here for a while, this is kind of like clockwork. So really, again, this is a lot of good information for the incoming freshmen, but also just some changes and whatnot for the new season. So again, my name is Kyle Sosala, athletic director. Brennan Hall is our assistant athletic director. He's been here since January, does a great job. You probably see a lot of emails from him and myself. Brian Knight, again, does an amazing job with our kids. He is our athletic trainer. We're also looking to add a second athletic trainer to help assist him and to spread our wealth, because obviously it's a little bit tough having 20 some odd sports and 50 plus teams to have him at every single event. So again, having a second athletic trainer. And then last but not least is Christina Marino. She is our new strength and conditioning coach. Again, all of our information is right here for you to utilize. And I'll actually send this PowerPoint in this video to you here shortly. So again, Christina's brand new. She started about a week ago. Mid-July, I believe she's going to be doing some great things with our student athletes in the weight room. So again, looking forward to that, and also just looking forward to the season, the fall season, actually the whole season, or the whole school year. Actually, it's crazy to think that it's already July and we're school is about to start. So again, just moving forward with some of this information. I am big on, if you know me, I am big on having a purpose, having goals, having a reason of doing things. I hate just going in the motions and just, throwing our cleats on, throwing our jersey on, and just going out there. That's great and all, but I like to have a purpose with everything that we do and a reason, moving forward with all of our extracurriculars and activities. So a little bit about St. Vincent St. Mary Athletics. We obviously strive to be competitive in all sports, participating in the OHSAA, which is the Ohio High School Athletic Association, and I'll get to that here in a little bit, while also being renowned for academic excellence through our student graduation rates and scholastic honors. Athletics at STVM provides exceptional value for our student athletes on and off the playing field. That is a big piece of it, the on and off the field playing field. I'm big on obviously being great athletes on the field, but also great people off the field. I want to use education-based, this is kind of my slogan, I want to use education-based athletics as a platform to transform student lives. So again, using education-based athletics, so having these student athletes learn, even though they're not in the classroom, they're learning so many different things, whether it's communication, teamwork, confidence, cooperation. I can keep going on and on and on about the things that they learn on the participating through athletics, and again to transform student lives. So again, what I mentioned before, the on and off the field playing field is big. So again, I want them to be great athletes, don't get me wrong, I want them to be great students, but I want them to be transformed into great people in general for the next stage of their life, whether that may be college or a job or the Army or playing at the next level. I don't care what it is, as long as we utilize this time here in these 4 years here at St. V to, again, push them to learn through the games, through whatever sport that they are participating in. Again, the transformational coaching is something I'm big on. The transformational versus transactional. The transactional being, all we care about are the wins and the losses. All we care about is the outcome on the field. And we're kind of pigeonholed to that, and our sight is kind of lost for what the big picture is. Versus the transformational coaching, again, at transforming these young boys and girls into young men and young women ready for the next stage of their life, again, through whatever sport that they are playing. So within the transformational coaching are a lot of different pieces. So obviously development. Again, we're here to teach them and here to develop these young boys and girls into young men, young women, and teach them these amazing things through the game. I want this to be a learning experience. I know I already touched on that a little bit, but again, I'm not here to, and the coaches are not here to hold their hand through every little thing. We are here to push them and get them ready for whatever that next stage of their life is. Again, we're not, I advise all my coaches to be hard on these student athletes, but build them up for encouragement rather than tearing them down. Again, we want to encourage these kids to be better people in general. And then we want them to learn these different things. Again, you'll hear that over and over and over again throughout this PowerPoint. But again, I just want to make sure everybody is understanding of where I'm coming from, where our coaches are coming from, as well as having an impact on our student athletes. This is mainly a big thing for myself, the athletic office, myself and Brendan, and also all the coaches. I believe all of our coaches have a huge impact on our student athletes. I think a lot of times maybe get a kick out of this, or a joke out of this, but I think your son or daughter may listen to their coach or their teacher or whatever it may be a lot more times than you. So again, having that huge impact on these student athletes to, again, have them learn and have them develop and have that transformational coaching piece of it is huge. How often or how much time is spent with your, these coaches are spending with your son or daughter is huge. At sometimes maybe even more than you are. So again, I want to make sure that they have a positive experience with our coaches and make sure that they are having an impact on these student athletes. Accountability, that's a big one too. I think respect goes both ways. I think our coaches are taught to have respect for the student athletes, and our student athletes are taught to have respect for our coaches. Again, having and holding these coaches, the coaches accountable, but also the student athletes accountable. We have these values and morals and beliefs here at St. V, and we want to make sure that all of these student athletes are being held accountable to those standards and whatnot. So that they can learn to be better people in general. I'd be remiss not to say that obviously I want to be competitive. Playing in high school, I was super competitive, still am super competitive, and I think all of our coaches want to win. Again, I want this to be very, very competitive, but also not losing sight of the real reason of why we are, having these student athletes participate in athletics is to, again, transform them into these amazing young men and young women. One thing too I like to mention is athletics is a privilege, not a right. So, it's an honor to wear that St. V logo on your chest, to be a part of a team, to be a part of a school, to be a part of an organization, a great organization. And I think I want our student athletes and our coaches to be role models for when they're wearing that logo, whether even if they're not wearing that logo, even when they're a part of a team or a part of the school, they represent this team and the school, and they need to they need to act right. Again, it's not every student athlete is a part of a team. Obviously there are tryouts and things like that allow them to be on a team. So I want them to understand that it's a privilege and not a right to be on the team, and something to be proud about and be fond of. A couple other things. I want this to be a positive and fun experience for these student athletes, as well as for myself, as well as for the coaches. I think, the 4 years here that they're here at St. Vincent St. Mary High School needs to be a positive and fun experience. The last thing that I want, are these student athletes to experience, I have to go to practice. I have to go to the game. No, I want them to be excited about it. I want them to be able to have fun at practice and it to be a positive and fun experience. their 4 years here through whatever sport that they are participating in. Because also too, even when they do, graduate on, I want them still to be a part of the team, part of the school, part of not lose track or not lose sight of the St. Vincent St. Mary, whether it's being a coach or helping support in one way or another. But again, even though they're not in the building at these 4 years, they're still a part of the sport, a part of the community, and still supporting us in one way, shape, or form. Last but not least, one thing I like to mention, I have to mention is academics. Obviously, we are student athletes, not athlete students. So the biggest thing I like to tell all of our student athletes is just get your stuff done. Go to your study tables, get your homework done, do your tests, ask the teachers for help if you need help. That's why they're there. They're there to support you and help you. Ask your student athletes, ask your teammates for help too as well if you're in help, if you need help. But again, academics is huge. We want them to be, again, great students, great student athletes. So again, like I said, just make sure you get your academics done, because obviously we are a very highly athletic school, but also very highly academic school as well. Head coach directory for the fall. Hopefully by now all you have been in contact with your respective coach or team. Regarding the information for the fall season. Obviously, the fall season starts July 31st, a day earlier this year. But for most of you, you're already kind of in the swing of whether it's open fields or open nets or summer hours or summer days, whatever it may be, conditionings, whatever it may be. You're already hopefully in contact with these coaches. But if you haven't had contact with them, please reach out to them here ASAP for more information. St. Vincent St. Mary obviously is a part of the OHSAA, or the Ohio High School Athletic Association. That is the state governing body for Ohio. Most schools are within this organization, and they dictate a lot of the rules, guidelines, procedures, things like that, as well as they are the ones that this is the organization that oversees all of the playoff games and tournaments and information. A little link right here, the OHSAA preseason information link. It's again just good information to have for the season. It kind of really goes more into depth of the different sports and their guidelines and things like that. So again, that's a really good link to have if you have any additional questions about the OHSAA and what they do. Moving on, one big directive I'm trying to push is sportsmanship, not only for our student athletes. I want them to have great sportsmanship and respect on the game and on the field and off the field, but I also want sportsmanship for our coaches and also, very importantly, our parents. I think you guys play a big role in obviously in your child's life, but also in extracurriculars. And I think having sportsmanship, having an idea of what we wanted to see as a parent when it comes to sportsmanship is huge. The OHSAA has the Parents Fair Play Code. It's a good one pager that kind of goes over respecting the game and having fair play and making sure to how to act during a sporting events. Again, because I'm very big on the sportsmanship, and I think that really trickles down into how you act and really trickle down into your son or daughter. So again, I'm big on that. Like I said, the OHSAA respect the game. Again, another little 1-sheeter, 2-sheeter that is great for just overseeing what we're expecting for sportsmanship during games. And if you're acting like a fool or this, that, I will myself and Brendan and our staff, we'll call you guys out. And I don't want to. That's not what I want to do. I want you to, again, respect the game and respect the players and the coaches on the field. But if that's becomes a problem, there will be. We'll have a conversation with you. But again, I just want to make sure everybody is on the same page when it comes to sportsmanship, not only for, like I said, for our student athletes, but for our parents and for our coaches. One thing that I like to add on here is a funny YouTube video. It's a funny fan that is in the stands that's just making a fool out of himself. Again, this is just this is intended to be funny, but it's also just a learning experience for really how some of the parents and the spectators act during the games. So again, it's meant to be funny, but it's reality when it comes to some of the parents and how some of the spectators act, during a game or during an event. Moving on. A little bit about final forms and eligibility. Hopefully by now, all of you know what final forms is. If you don't know what final forms is, please let me know ASAP, but that really is your, we use final forms as our database system for all student athletes and coaches as well. So for final forms, on there, you'll upload your physical. And we like to say every student athlete is required, obviously every student athlete is required to have a final forms account if they want to play some type of sport here at St. V. They also need to be all green. So what I mean by all green is they need to be registered and they need to have a valid physical on file that is that you can find on the OHSA website, as well as your final forms account, as well as all your forms are signed. And please make sure when you're on your final forms account, you are selecting whatever sport you're interested in. If you do not select your sport that you're interested in, you will not show up on that respective sport. So again, if you need to sign up for that sport, otherwise you will not get any information from coaches or any emails or whatnot that are sent out through that sport. Again, physicals are required for all student athletes to be eligible to play. Physicals are valid for 13 months. Again, those can be found on the OHSA website, as well as your final forms account. So again, please check on that ASAP and make sure that your son or daughter is valid when it comes to that. Talked about the forms. They must be signed before any participation in athletics. Moving kind of on a little bit more to eligibility. You must be at school for 2 full academic blocks to be eligible for practice and games. Any excused absences must be ran through the front office. So that's very, we're really big on that. So again, making sure that you're there for 2 full academic blocks. If you miss, if you're there for a study hall, this or that does not count towards the academic block. So again, it has to be academic where you're actually in some type of class learning. A little bit more too as well. You must be enrolled in passing 5 1-credit classes. That's pretty standard. That's the OHSAA standard. And please note too that the physical education class is only a half credit, so that does not count as a full credit. So again, making sure you're passing your 5 1-credit classes accordingly for the OHSAA. Moving a little bit forward, all student athletes participating in extracurricular activities, including athletics, they'll be required to maintain a 2.0 GPA for each grading period. That is the school's eligibility on top of the OHSAA. So there's 2 different eligibilities. OHSAA, which is the 5 credit classes. Then on top of that, the St. Vincent St. Mary has their own eligibility standards on top of that, that requires you to have a 2.0 GPA for each grading period. Any student athlete who falls below the 2.0 GPA requirement, earning a 1.5 or to a 1.99 will be placed on academic probation. During this probationary period, these students remain eligible for extracurricular activities if they attend the required remediation sessions. Sorry, so the study hall sessions or the tutoring sessions that is brought forward from the assistant principal. Moving a step forward as well, student athletes who fall below a 1.5 are ineligible for any athletic activities and are not allowed to attend any practices or games. Unfortunately, again, that's why we push for the academic side of it, academic piece of it, because we want them to be eligible to play for their season. The OHSA also states that a student must pass, again, we talked about the 5 credit classes. Again, if they don't pass, one big thing too, for all you fall student athletes, the 4th quarter eligibility is huge for you. If a student does not pass 5 classes in the 4th quarter, it will then carry on to the 1st quarter of the next fall quarter or next fall season in the new school year. So again, if you're having that, making sure you're taking care of all your academics and then being above that 2.0 GPA for the 4th quarter leading into the first quarter of this next school year is huge. And if you have any other questions about this, I know I talk very fast and it's a lot of information, so please let me know. Send me an email. Moving on, a big topic: communication and playing time. I like to say I want all us to have open, honest, and transparent and in real-time communication. I think, if you have communication, open lines of communication, I think 95 to 99% of our problems happen with lack of or miscommunication or non-communication at all. So again, I think communication is huge. And that's something that I like to instill in myself, as well as all the coaches that are within the athletic office within St. Vincent St. Mary. Playing time is a big one. I am big on having a communication process, so that playing time is between the player and the coach. So the way I like to phrase it is, players, again, we want this to be a learning experience for you. So again, I want you to be able to use your voices and be able to have the confidence to go and talk to coach about something that is bothering you, whether it's playing time or this or that, whatever it may be. So player to coach is the very first step that I like to take, and hopefully that can be addressed accordingly, and hopefully there can be a plan of action moving forward. If that doesn't work, the player, coach, and parent it will be the next step to have that meeting to address any questions, comments, concerns that you may have. On top of that, the next stage would be I would get involved myself, and my assistant athletic director would get involved and have that meeting to maybe address whatever concerns, comments, questions you have. And hopefully by then everything would get situated, and we would maybe take it to the next level or the next step if it gets to that. As well as any other questions concerning outside of playing time. I mean, I'm okay with the parents asking coaches, but again, I'm really big on student athletes having a voice and having them and pushing them out of their comfort zone to go and talk to coaches. Again, having that learning experience for these student athletes. The last little bullet point is a parent video, just something I like to share with our parents, just talking about playing time and talking about a coach who's in college talking about playing time and what he would do and this and that. Again, it's a very quick 2-minute video that I like to share with the parents, and just how to navigate through the playing time, how to navigate through playing time as a parent. Moving on, transportation issues are relevant. They happen all the time. There's a bus breakdown, there's a bus time change, there's a game change, whatever it may be. So again, please just be patient with us, as we try to work through these issues. Every athletic director, every school I talk to has the same issues when it comes to transportation. So please just be patient with us. Be understanding of us. We're doing our best to make sure that all sports are offered some way, shape, or form of transportation. But one thing too to take note is there may be times where we have to have self-transportation being utilized if there's no drivers or buses available for that day. So that would be communicated obviously to the parents and to the players and the coaches if needed. But I just want to preface that may be an option moving forward in the season with all the different changes and breakdowns and drivers and this and that. So again, just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page when it comes to transportation. Moving on, the athletic website and social media. We have a brand new athletic website that will be posted, that'll be shared out by August 1. That will be, all the information will be on the website by August 1, but it is live right now to view. But please know that a lot of the content in there is still under wraps and still in draft mode. So if you click on one of those links or whatever it may be, it might be blank for the time, but that will be updated by August 1. As an athletic department, we are huge on the social media aspect of it. I think parents, I believe you guys love seeing your students, your son or daughter on being spotlighted on our website or on our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it may be. And I think student athletes, I think you love being spotlighted too. So I want to showcase our programs and our players and our coaches as much as we can on social media and show the world all the great things that STVM Athletics is doing. So we have a Twitter, we have an Instagram, and we also have a Facebook. We're also in the process of creating a TikTok. That's the new and up and coming social media trend. So that'll be out here in the next couple of weeks for the season, which will be really cool. Make sure you're following all these different accounts, as well as following all the sports specific Twitters and Instagram accounts as well. On top of that, too, we have our STVM broadcasting YouTube. That is where we would live stream all of our games. So just make sure you are following us or subscribe to our YouTube account as well. Ticketing. This is a big one. We're going to be continuing to utilize the hometown ticketing platform. That is the online platform that we've always used. We have updated our spectator policy. Here is again the updated policy. That information will be sent out hopefully by the end of the day today as well. Tickets and season passes are offered. They're also offered here as well through the new website. So again, check those out. Those will be up hopefully by August 1. One big thing too, in the past we have not taken cash at the door, but the state introduced a new bill that was passed where we are required to accept cash at the door. But one thing I want to preface here is we want to encourage all tickets to be purchased online to ensure your seat. Please know that if you buy your ticket online, that does ensure your seat. Excuse me. But if you were to show up late and show up with cash, just know that the cash does not guarantee your seat. So again, we really want to, even though we are accepting cash, we want to push the online ticketing to ensure your seat and make sure you get your seat. Athletic passes are not accepted for any OHSA sanctioned game. That is just for the playoff game. If you buy a season pass for same STVM, that is not valid for an OHSAA sanctioned game, playoff game, because they are again a separate. They take care of the tournaments. Please know that any ticket purchasing for away games, obviously will vary school by school. Some schools are still doing all cash, some are doing online, some are doing a variation. So this will be communicated to the families, student athletes, obviously once we receive that information from the visiting school. So just stay tuned when it comes to that. A little bit of some more important dates, information. Picture day is August 2nd and August 9th. That schedule was sent to the coaches a few weeks back, and hopefully now you have the coaches have sent you the information for picture day. Every single team obviously has a parent meeting. Coaches will send that information out on the dates and times if they have not already. I think maybe some of you have already had your parent meetings, but again, they'll send that information out. A couple of other items. Booster Club picnic is August 11th at 6 p.m. This is in the pavilion down at Green Street Stadium. Homecoming is October 14th, with the homecoming game being on the 13th, the day before, versus VASJ or Villa Angela St. Joseph Academy, or not Academy, St. Joseph. One thing too is the OHSA season calendar of important dates. That is outlines all of the start dates for the OHSA, as well as sectionals, districts, regional, state, all that good stuff is in there. So if you have any questions about when this starts or that starts or whatever sport it may be, click on that link. Last but not least, like I said earlier, if there's any questions throughout any of this or any additional questions that you may have that maybe I didn't cover, please send me an email. I'm pretty quick to reply back when it comes to an email. Again, because I'm big on the communication piece of it. But again, just looking forward to the season. This is my second year here, and I'm really looking forward to build upon what we had going last year into the new year, with a lot of different changes and additions and improvements to obviously make us better throughout the whole process. So again, looking forward to the season. Again, have any questions, feel free to let me know. But again, go Irish.